Massive controversy has broken out over the controversial aviation deal between India and the UAE. Now, Times Now has accessed a PMO note through an RTI query which underlines serious concerns in the impact of controversial aviation deal. Now, the PMO note highlights how the aviation bonanza deal will lead to the loss of business and reduction on long-haul traffic from India. Megha Prasad is joining us in the news pit. Megha, the PMO note raises the red flag on several very, very critical issues, but that seemed to have been ignored in this massive deal.
Well, in fact, what I have in my hand is the PM note. This executive summary. It's a study on the impact of the Middle Eastern carriers' growth on the Indian aviation sector. Now, this note, which was sent by the Prime Minister's office on 22nd of May this year, it was sent to the Civil Aviation Ministry for further consideration. The very salient points, and there are just 7 points, clearly outlines exactly what will be the impact, if at all, this mega deal between India and UAE goes ahead. And it clearly says that there would be a reduction of long-haul traffic from India and the reduction of long-haul destinations. Also, it goes on to say that there would be lesser consolidation of at any airport in India. It says there would be loss in businesses like catering, fueling and cargo. It says lesser stimulation to traffic growth with major impact on tourism promotion, poor utilization of existing airside and landside infrastructure. Passengers will have to bear the burden of airports, lack of recovering already invested in capital. And of course, passengers originating in India will be further inconvenienced by an increased in travel time. Now, these are the pointers that have been, highlighted in the study, which was there. This report was there with the Prime Minister's office. Now, Prime Minister's office, in all fairness, sends this report way back in May. Now, we must also understand that in May, this was just a month after the deal was signed between India and UAE. But then by that time, no clearances from the government had gone ahead. And I'm talking about the clearances from FIPB, clearances from DIPP, clearances from the Finance Ministry, and all the way going to the Cabinet Committee. That clearance also had, the Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs, even that clearance had not come. It was post this report, this note of from the Prime Minister's office that was sent to the Civil Aviation Ministry, that all these clearances happened. And we know how in the past, we've all know how in the past SEBI, for that matter FIPB, all of them had their reservations and they had cleared this deal with very clear riders. There were some sort of riders that were put that if these conditions are met, only then this deal should go through. And this deal has been mired in controversy all along. That's been common knowledge. But the fact is that right now, almost all clearances in this deal has come about. Only the last clearance, which is the Competition Commission of India, is left.
Do stay with us, Megha. Let's get in some quick reactions to this big breaking news story.
As far as the government is concerned, entire formality has been completed. We have nothing to do with that.
So the thing is that in spite of the instructions coming to the civil aviation industry that in case if we go ahead with the deal, this is going to be negative for the aviation industry. That is one of the things which is being talked about.
I don't want to comment on that. Because of the situation, the entire formality has been completed. The cabinet already approved. Then the thing is up to them. When is it started or not?
Now, meanwhile, a massive political fight has broken out after Times Now revealed the super-critical PMO note which underlines the adverse effect of the controversial aviation deal on India. Now, the BJP has questioned the centre, asking why they went ahead with the PMO, had clearly pointed out the negative impact the deal would have on the aviation sector.
We have, in order to build ourselves as a great global power, we had built these massive airports at huge costs. And these will become ghost buildings because everybody will, it's only question of ferrying passengers to Abu Dhabi. So they'll become a kind of a local airline. And this was what was objected to. Now its ramifications are enormous. You have increased it from 8,000 to 90,000. That means you'll suck in the, I think already, by the way, Emirates, which is another part, the Dubai part, they are already the leading airline of flying out Indians from India.
Well, Megha, it does seem that the PMO's concerns on this very critical issue were totally sidestepped when this deal was etched. Now, why was that?
Well, Lipot, that's a big question, really, at this point in time when just one clearance for this UAE-India deal is left. The question right now is who ignored this study, the impact study, a copy of which was available both with the Prime Minister's office as well as with the Ministry of Civil Aviation. So at least, right now we're not talking about the other departments that have been party or have cleared this deal. We are not talking about the Finance Ministry or not talking about SEBI or any other organization, authority or body right now. We're just simply talking about two departments. One is the Prime Minister's office. The other, of course, happens to be the Civil Aviation Ministry. Now, both of them, as per the records, as per the releases of the Prime Minister's office, it is very clearly mentioned here that this note was received in the PMO. This note was then sent on a certain date to the Ministry of Civil Aviation for further consideration. Now, both these departments have played a very crucial role in this deal. The Prime Minister's office has been directly involved in this particular deal. So has the Civil Aviation Ministry been. So who chose to ignore this impact study? Why did this impact study why was it not taken into consideration while all these clearances were given? Why was this red flag not raised by them? Why did they, it seems almost silently, just try to do away with this note? And it is only through the RTI that we've gotten access of this particular note.
Right, Meg, as you're saying, there are several questions that will need to be answered on this big breaking news story that's coming in on Times Now. Thanks very much for joining us.